And President Trump's trade war hanging in the balance as the Supreme Court weighs whether his sweeping tariffs are legal. During arguments yesterday, at least 5 justices, including conservatives, sharing concerns over the president's unprecedented tariffs driving up consumer prices. However, some of the justices did signal a potential willingness to give the president some flexibility on foreign trade. Conservative Justice Brett Kavanaugh, a Trump appointee, suggested the president may need tariffs as a tool of foreign affairs. So joining me now for more on all this is Rick Woldenberg.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
Tongue twister there. He's the CEO of Learning Resources, a toy maker that is one of the plaintiffs in this case. Rick, thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure.
And let's talk about this because you were in the court yesterday as these arguments were playing out, and a number of conservative justices, including Justice Coney Barrett, appeared skeptical on the president's tariff authority. I'm curious, what stood out to you thus far?
Well, I was excited to see that. You know, there's been a drumbeat from the administration for many months that foreign governments would pay these tariffs and that this was an emergency and this was a power that he had under the Act. If you look at the Act itself, there's no reference to taxes. And it's hard to believe that Congress was going to give the president a $3 billion blank check to write to be funded by Americans paying taxes.
Well, and for those that are trying to grasp like how this tariff policy is impacting companies like yours, I mean, walk me through. I mean, what has this caused for you?
Well, that's the right place to start. So last year we paid nothing in IEEPA tariffs, and this year we paid $14 million. In non-IEEPA tariffs, we paid about $2 million last year, and I think we've paid about the same this year. So the cost so far has gone from $2 million to $16 million. The difference is IEEPA. And because we haven't sold all our inventory through, we expect the number to be higher next year. It's not sustainable. It has to be passed on to the consumer by us and by everyone in the same situation.
How big of a pass on has that been to your consumer?
We raise prices mid-single digits. In our business, because it's a mission-driven business, we want to keep our pencil as sharp as possible because high prices can keep the products out of some kids' hands, and every child has a right to a great start with our products in learning to love learning. So we want to keep the prices down, and we're trying to sustain it as long as we can.
Well, and the other thing is so I mean, when a decision on this is made, and let's say it's in your favor, we've been talking to economists about how quickly the markets could respond to something. Do you know how quickly that you'd be able to potentially take that added cost onto the consumer back?
Well, we're trying to anticipate it. So we're trying to not raise prices on the normal cadence because all of your costs go up, healthcare and everything else, salaries. And so we're trying to keep it down so that we don't have to yo-yo our prices to consumers. It's difficult on our dealers and it's difficult on the consumers. So hopefully we can smooth it out and just give it back by not raising prices.
If this case is not ruled in your favor, what's your biggest fear right now?
Well, I think that there's just been a lot of stress put on our business and other businesses in this situation. I don't like to think about what if I don't win, but if the situation continues on as it is, eventually you're going to see less consumer choice. And for us, we won't be able to afford to hire as many people when we grow. It's going to accelerate negative trends in the economy, and I think that would be regrettable.
Okay. Well, Rick Woldenberg, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming and speaking with us.
Thank you.
All right.